I'm going to be giving you guys some intel on the planet Pluto, and I'm going to be talking about how to access spiritual wealth by working with this powerful planet. In astrology, Pluto has this reputation of being this intimidating planet that people should avoid at all costs. And to be honest, I understand people's sentiment because as a Plutonian, I do understand that you have to handle Pluto with a brave heart, because Pluto will put you through some things that is going to be a lot for the soul to digest. But there is that side of Pluto that a lot of people don't talk about, and it's how it's linked to wealth. In mythology, Pluto is the lord of the underworld. So he rules over the dead and he rules over the riches of the earth, all the minerals and metals, precious gemstones and jewels, all of it. The Greek word plutos means wealth. And this myth is allegorical for experiencing death of the ego, detachment and independence of external validation and materialism, and immersing yourself within the depths of your soul to find true value within. It's about being rich in spirit. Pluto is going to remind us that when we face our fears and traumas, when we work through our psychological issues, this is where the real gems and gold and all the richness is going to be found. Going through that dark night of the soul and then coming out on the other side, producing this energetic beauty about yourself. That's because you did that alchemical process of taking your darkness and turning it into light. Okay. When you're spiritually rich, this means to be spiritually fulfilled. You're rich in love, compassion, wisdom, strength, fearlessness. All these things make you a spiritually rich person. Okay. And this comes from doing that inner work, doing that deep dive within yourself to really face yourself truthfully. This is about having mastery over your demons, controlling your demons, or even killing off your demons to be able to live powerfully and also to find true value within yourself. Taking those very fears, shame, trauma, all of that stuff and turning it into a resource that you can tap into internally. These inner resources that are generated from within are things that you could utilize to help continue to push you forward and also help you elevate as well. Just like the earth is forever abundant, and the earth always has the capability of producing resources. It just needs a little bit of pressure and a little bit of nourishment. Okay. And this is the same way you need to see your soul. And when you're doing the shadow work, it's going to be very pressuring. It's going to be very heavy and intense. But that is part of the healing work. This is how you nourish the soul. This is how you heal your soul. And this is what's going to encourage growth. This will allow you to blossom and grow into this powerful person that is able to thrive in chaos, not off of chaos. Thriving in chaos, it's being able to overcome challenges and make it through hard times. Not thriving off of chaos where it's you need to be in chaotic situations in order to be stimulated and feel some sense of power. Something interesting about the Pluto symbol is that it reminds me of a seed being planted in soil, and it reminds me of germination, like how plants go through germination. So let's break down each part of the Pluto symbol. So there's the circle, which is representative of the consciousness, that's you, and it's also representing how you are that seed, okay, being planted in that soil. And the soil is represented by the moon that's on the Pluto symbol, the moon. And it's interesting because the moon rules over the realm of the nighttime, okay? And soil looks like the nighttime, it's dark. The moon is representative of your memories, your past. It's your subconscious, and your subconscious holds all kinds of memories, good or bad. The moon also represents things that you inherit from your family, okay? Like your family lineage. And then we have the cross of matter, where, going back to what I was talking about with the Pluto myth, how Pluto represents being detached and independent of the material realm over the things that are external of you. This is why the moon and the sun are over the cross of matter, because that means you prioritize the depth of your spirit, the connection of your spirit, and nourishing your spirit over anything external of you, over any kind of material thing. Even if you haven't read the story of Hades in Greek mythology, you could literally just look at the symbol, and the symbol literally tells you the whole story. And it's really about alchemy. It's about shadow work. It's about going within and doing that regressive process of returning to your past and really digging deep within your soul and really shining a light on the things that have been buried deep down within you, okay? And mainly addressing things that are negatively impacting you, okay? Things that are just swimming around in the dark realm of your mind. This is about shining a light on your subconscious, shining a light on your soul. And oftentimes, this is where Pluto could get a little scary, like I was saying earlier, because you're shining a light on things that could be very uncomfortable for you to face and see clearly, up close and personal, because the sun is about clarity and really like seeing things for what it is. Okay. So, and this is what happens when you do shadow work within yourself. You're oftentimes facing things that you've been burying and just avoiding dealing with. And now you're finally put in a position where it's like, okay, now I have to face these things and really overcome these things. This is why like the dark night of the soul or like shadow work, it's a long process. And this is why in astrology, Pluto transits, they take a very long time. So wherever Pluto transits in your chart, it takes a long time to transit, okay? And this is a time where you're doing that internal work, you're doing that deep dive. The moon is also representative of water, and the sun is fire. So remember what I was talking about ego death? Yeah, basically in the Pluto symbol, it's telling you right there. Pluto's saying when you're coming into my realm, the ego is dead. We're killing that ego because what we're focusing on is this soul, this deep inner work, okay? When you're in my realm, it's time to take off the mask and it's time to really face yourself truly and truly find out who it is that you truly are. You're excavating parts of yourself that have been dormant for a very long time and just hiding just very deep within yourself. And it's finally coming out to where you're shining a light on it. So you're seeing it clearly and you have clarity and enlightenment on it. Okay. And once you do that, this creates a sense of liberation. And this is where we get the blossoming aspect of a plant. Okay. After it goes through that time of germination and spending time underground, like how Pluto represents being the lord of the underworld, the underground. When you're going through that dark night of the soul, you tend to spend a lot of time to yourself and just reflecting, okay? Reflecting on what's going on deep within yourself in order to finally address it and liberate yourself from it so you could bloom and so you could flourish. To summarize all of this, whenever you're going through a period in your life where it feels very dark and very intense, or even when you're reflecting on your past and you're looking at like, wow, I went through all these dark things. Yes, those things are fertilization, okay? Because Pluto is a symbol of fertilization, okay? All your dark experiences, your traumas, your fears, all these dark things, this is the stuff that's needed to stimulate your growth, okay? This is the stuff that you need in order to thrive into this beautiful blossoming person, okay? So then you're in a space where you're so fulfilled within yourself that you could always just turn to yourself to regenerate yourself because you just have that supply of resources within you. You've built those inner resources to where it's like you don't need anything external of you to give you that fulfillment or that sense of wealth and abundance. It's all within you. And that is what Pluto reminds you. It reminds you that the wealth is in you. Doing that inner work within yourself that is then going to materialize into actual monetary wealth, of course, manifest into status, power, and influence, and all of these things. But it all starts within first. So in order to radiate this powerful, influential, and even wealth kind of lifestyle, you have to do the inner work. Listen, a lot of people who are very wealthy, they have 9 times out of 10 been through a lot of things. Even if it's one thing, like they've been through a lot of things. They've been through something that have put them in this space of where they felt lacking within themselves, or they felt like a sense of loss in some sort of way. They use that as fuel to elevate them in life. Okay, and put them in a space where they are wealthy. Spiritual wealth is the key. Pressure makes diamonds. That is such a Pluto motto. Pressure makes diamonds. If you're not going through things, if you're not under that pressure, okay, then you're really not going to come out to the diamond that you believe yourself to be, okay? It takes a lot of refinement. It takes a lot of shifting and changing. All these things are pressures that the soul goes under in order to form into a beautiful gem, or even blossom into a beautiful flower. The road to riches, power, influence, it's not an easy one, and it's long, but it's definitely fulfilling in the end. That is all I have for this video. I hope you guys found this insightful and helpful. If you guys like these kinds of videos, give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.